Hello and welcome back to True Crime Guys Podcast Special Headlines and Shenanigans Edition, brought to you by Claritin.
Brought to you by.
This is going to be a sniffly episode. Right,
brought to you by seasonal allergies and a cold front sweeping in.
Yeah, so we're on the mend.
Yeah,
we're on
right.
the mend. But we're feeling good enough to have some shenanigans, and of course, got to get some headlines out of the way.
Exactly. On my way
few
here,
things you
I
may
was
have heard of.
on my way driving here. My daughter was in the back seat, and I heard her cough like 3 or 4 times. I just turned my head around like an owl, just be like, "Don't you fucking start!
Don't you do that to me."
She's like, I just got choked on my water. And I was like, you better be drink that water. It's like, hey, I ain't doing this right now.
That shit's slower.
It's almost Christmas, bitch.
That's right.
I ain't doing this. You better be sick somewhere else.
Doing Christmas in the fucking ER.
Better get you some emergency. Yeah, Michael, I ain't spending our Christmas break with no sickness, but I got some headlines we could talk about. There's been a few things that have kind of permeated our entire country for a few weeks going on. Yeah,
yeah. The last month has been eventful.
Right. It has been. It's been one for the history books, you might say.
Indeed.
That's all. It's almost hard to bring everything to you in one episode. But one of the first things we're gonna try, and one of the first things we're gonna talk about this week is, God damn it, we're fucking talking about these drones.
We got to talk about these damn drones.
I know we were talking about these goddamn drones. It was more of like a strange and unexplained, because right now it's goddamn strange and still unexplained, and no one's answering about these goddamn drones.
They're really not.
If you have not heard about the consistent sightings and videos and pictures and like public officials citing these drones that are flying over New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, these areas of the Northeast, I don't know where you've been living, because they have literally been permeating my entire news feed.
Yes.
Like everything I've seen on TikTok and social media.
Yeah, people are writing songs about it. It's getting insane.
Yeah, like I said, we're having literal public officials having to come out and being like, yeah, it's right there. Look on my shoulder. See it?
Also, there's been videos of people's people have put up videos of car lights flashing and horns honking in parking lots.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of cars all at once around the same time that the drones are out or whatever.
It is all very weird.
Is that related? Have you seen that as well?
It's one thing that's also being very difficult to do is like you're seeing so many people post videos and things on TikTok and social media, but it's getting very hard to identify which ones are current and real and not AI and not like clearly fake. Well, some you can very clearly tell are fake.
Yeah.
But then there's other ones where people are hard to be like, is this from really? And I can't tell.
It's getting tough to tell, man.
But then there's other ones that like news broadcasters and news stations are posting videos and posting these things being like, yeah, we see them. They're flying around. We don't know what to talk about. Like, we can't not talk about this shit.
Right.
But the main thing we're going to talk about today, because this has been going on for a few weeks now, is the FAA temporarily bans drones in parts of New Jersey and New York and adds flight restrictions because of these constant drone sightings.
So now no locals can fly their drones.
Pretty much,
to combat these drones, which is what you should do. Rise up in arms, a local New Jersey drone militia.
To an extent, yes, because here's what I was thinking now. They're basically banning the drones, and they are saying that they are going to shoot down drones or take deadly action against these drones. So now they're trying to weed out people who are flying their drones up there, trying to see what these
just
are.
Adding to everything.
Because it's there's been a lot of like unmanned drones that are just civilian drones going up there and trying to see. So now they're saying like, nobody fly anything else up there. We need to know, we need to see how many of these things are not out, like yours. Like we need to know what's up there. So the FAA issued a ban on drone operations in dozens of areas of New Jersey and New York until mid-January, unless operators are granted special permissions from the government due to special security reasons.
Okay.
Uncrewed aerial drones have now been lighting up the sky at night in New Jersey and nearby states for weeks, since about mid-November, like we were talking about, leading to concern from residents and speculation online. Some have demanded answers from local and state officials, and this is obviously...
We need some answers, man.
The fact, there's been like little federal press conferences at this time. I think Biden even came out being like, we're looking into these drones. I don't know what to tell you about the drones right now. It's like, you fucking know.
Biden doesn't know.
Somebody around you knows.
Somebody knows.
Somebody around you knows.
Biden doesn't know.
They're letting you read to kids now. You just keep pardoning people, okay? You just keep letting people not die.
There you go.
But at the request of the federal security partners, the FAA published 22 temporary flight restrictions prohibiting drone flights over critical New Jersey infrastructure, the FAA said. A Department of Homeland Security spokesperson said the flight restrictions were issued out of an abundance of caution. Okay, what are you so cautious about, Homeland Security? That's a pretty big statement for Homeland to come out and be like,
really
we're just being cautious, just being, no reason not to, don't worry, we're just being safe, extra safe.
Just want to check out all these drones.
Yeah, never heard that before. Never, Homeland Security is like, we're just being cautious, except the Patriot Act, bitch. But we continue to assess that there is no public safety threat relating to the reported drone sightings, the spokesperson said in a statement on Thursday. In coordination with the FAA and our critical infrastructure partners who have temporarily requested flight restrictions over their facilities out of an abundance of caution. The FAA has issued temporary flight restrictions over these critical infrastructures in New Jersey. And following New Jersey's lead on Thursday night, New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced federal partners in the FAA will also grant temporary flight restrictions over some of the state's critical infrastructures as well. So New York is also just being like, you know what? If New Jersey's going to do, we can't let New Jersey be.
Should have started with that.
Yeah, like if New Jersey's going to do this, we can't let New Jersey be.
So you just let anybody fly over your critical infrastructures at any time with drones?
I really don't know. It's kind of what I was thinking too. I'm like,
one could imply that.
Yeah, I'm saying. Do you just allow normal flights over those? I know there is like FAA restrictions and guidelines that these things are.
Hey man, the world is moving fast. We got to have rules for drones now.
Right?
They're everywhere. They're fucking everywhere.
We got to have rules for robots.
People
and rules
are
for drones.
riding drones.
Right.
We're already at that point.
Mm-hmm. Then we're gonna have drones dropping robots one day. But similarly, Hochul said that the action is purely precautionary and that there is no threats to these sites whatsoever. It's like, then why are you being like, yeah, you can't go over there. Don't go over there. Don't go anywhere near there. Well, if there was no threat, why are you worried? It's like, just be safe, just being safe. No worries.
Did that drone just vaporize that guy?
Did that drone just get vaporized out of the air? The restrictions say no uncrewed aircraft systems can operate within a nautical mile of the airspace specified in each notice, including from the ground up to 400 feet under FAA rules. So you can have your little GoPro drone going up and around, like taking pictures of your house or whatever.
Right.
But they can only go 400 feet in the air because some of these have been seen 1,000, 2,000 feet, but they're big enough to very clearly still be seen.
Yeah.
Some of these drones have been sighted and saying they're like the size of a car, they're the size of a helic, they're the size of a small plane. Yeah, it's a fucking drone, bitch. But the government has also said that they may use deadly force against the drones if they pose an immediate security threat, the NOTAM said. Pilots who fail to
pose a threat, but what if they just sit there and watch?
Yeah, how do you know? Like when does
what if they do nothing?
When does it definitely become a threat? It's like, do they have to attack before it's a threat? Do they have to drop something before it's a threat? Like, how do you know when it's going to be a threat?
Exactly. And then if you shoot one, is it property of Russia? Have we now started war?
Yeah, who does this belong to?
Because we shot this hovering observer.
Mm-hmm. Pilots who fail to abide by those restrictions could be intercepted, detained, and interviewed by law enforcement and security personnel, the FAA said. It could also take administrative action, including imposing civil penalties of suspending or revoking the operator's certificates, as well as pursuing criminal charges. So they're trying to weed out, like I said, anybody else who's trying to man kind of larger drones to go up there and look.
Right.
They're saying you cannot do that right now until we figure out whose these actually belong to, and the less we have in the sky, the better. So the FBI has received more than 5,000 tips in the last few weeks about drone sightings in New Jersey and other states, and said a multi-agency statement, which was released Monday by the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the FAA, and the Department of Defense. So yeah, these are, like I said, multiple federal agencies, multiple different things are now coming out and being like, okay, yeah, we know the drones are there. We see them. We can't pretend like we don't. We can't just tell you it's swamp gas, okay?
But they still don't know what to say either.
Yeah, they don't know what to say, which is so goddamn, like, it's just so, like, weird.
It's frustrating.
It's very frustrating.
Scary, too, at the same time.
Yeah, it's very frustrating for all the people who are watching this online and watching this like unfold, being like, if these drones are not ours, if these are not our military's drones, or if these are not our government's drones, why are you guys not acting more like freaked out about this? Why are these things not getting shot down immediately? If you're seeing this many drones and if you're saying we don't know what they are or whose they are, they're in American airspace. They are unidentified objects flying in our airspace. They are flying near critical infrastructures. Like it's very suspicious that the government is not taking more like physical defensive action to an extent.
It is. And all the technology we have, you can't fucking track the IP addresses of these fucking drones and see where they're being controlled from. At least a location. Come on.
That's what it's so weird to say. And that's one of the things that's always like, I think I've seen a few TikToks where it's like literally people making fun of the government being like, we're going to take a look at these drones. We're trying to figure out where they're coming from. We're going to figure this out. Don't you worry about it. Don't you shoot them down. Don't shoot them down. Don't.
What if it's from a movie?
Right.
What if it's for all of this is for a movie and they just wanted real news footage to throw in there? So they're like, no, we can't tell anyone. We got to ride this out as long as we can.
Oh my God.
I mean, hopefully we don't go to jail, but
this is the biggest Sacha Baron Cohen movie that's ever been.
You just ride this out and you get raw footage of how people react.
Sacha Baron Cohen is the aliens. It's just going to be a bunch of Borat aliens coming around.
Right.
But yeah, there's been a lot of theories that have been put around. There's been so many different things. One of the big ones I saw that kind of had me gripped was people saying that like, oh, they're looking for nuclear material. There might be some kind of nuclear weapon or something that was like smuggled into America, and these drones are out there looking for it. And so that was a big theory I saw floating around on social media. Was there was some kind of nuclear shipment that was kind of gone missing, and these drones were out with these cameras and these thermal imaging looking for radiation and all kinds of stuff. They didn't want to alarm the public.
They stole from the wrong peeps, bro.
So there's all kinds of
infrared drones. They're gonna find your ass.
Yeah, I've seen those things. All the Ukraine footage going around right now. You see what those like thermal drones can do, and they are terrifying. But yeah, it's like there's been a lot of theories going around, from aliens to Russia to China to America to some private company to like until there is a concrete answer, it's becoming more and more just suspicious. It should not be going on this long.
Right.
But yeah, since November, and now we are right here at Christmas, almost on Christmas Day here. Like that's a month right now going on. We have never had like UFO sightings continuously for a month.
No, and I don't know if we've ever had a month where we've had more UFO sightings. I'm like, oh my God, I can't scroll 2 damn posts. I know everybody's algorithm's different, but I can't scroll 2 posts without seeing a blurry UFO video. Mm-hmm. They're all over the damn place.
Yeah, and it's becoming more, like I said, it's harder and harder to tell which ones are real and which ones are fake and which ones are what. But yeah, the fact that we are seeing so much stuff so frequently, it's we need answers, people. Like there cannot be just we'll look into it. That's not an answer anymore.
We need answers for the drones.
I need to know if I have to go to work on Monday or not, okay? That's all I care about.
Always go to work, Andy.
But Michael, I guess we probably need to divert course a little bit off these drones. We talked about these drones a little bit now.
I mean, we don't know anything, so what the hell?
Yeah,
I thought you were going to have some answers.
I don't have any answers, Michael. Don't look like
couldn't scour Reddit for some latest information.
Like I told you, it's all theories right now. It's just a bunch of crazy theories.
I hate this story. This is why I haven't looked into it.
I know. I want answers.
Until someone's got answers. What the hell?
But we're gonna have to. Our next story, Michael, is literally what the entire country is talking about. We're not going to be able, we can't avoid it, but this person's not going to work.
You mean
on
the
Monday.
Other half that's not talking about the drones?
Yeah, right. Even the drone people are kind of talking about this a little bit.
I'm sure
but this person right here is definitely not going to work on Monday, and that is Luigi Mangione.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't heard the name Luigi.
Yeah, I've seen his name once or twice.
Right, if you haven't seen his face, his name, his manifesto, his everything. You haven't seen something about Luigi Mangione in the past month or like past few weeks.
And his eyebrows.
And his
Don't forget about those eyebrows.
And his eyes smolder.
Right.
And that soft fade.
Yeah.
But yes, guys, Luigi Mangione was indicted for murder charges for the shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Uh-huh. While we're recording this today, the updates are coming in literally daily, and there's like things coming back like hourly, where he is, where he's being moved to, what this picture is of him. As of today, I do know that he has pleaded not guilty. He was seen in court. Him and his lawyer pleaded not guilty to these charges. So
interesting.
We'll go from there. This is going to be an ongoing investigation. As everybody knows, this is going to be the next big trial for a while.
Right.
But the New York grand jury indicted Luigi Mangione on charges of murdering Brian Thompson. The Manhattan DA's office has said Mangione, who is 26, is charged with 1 count of first-degree murder in furtherance of terrorism and 2 counts of second-degree murder, one of which is charged is charged as a killing as an act of terrorism. And the terrorism charge is what's really dividing a lot of people right now as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to say terrorism when it's one person doing one murder. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like it's very much, that's one of the polarizing things right now. It's like there's been mass murderers who have killed lots of people, and you like mass shooters, and you still haven't charged them with terrorism.
Right.
But this guy kills...
Because the people weren't rich enough.
Yeah, because the people didn't matter enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go. I see what you're getting at.
But he's also charged in the Manhattan Supreme Court indictment with multiple counts of criminal possession of a weapon, a single count of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, and possession of a forged New Jersey driver's license. I feel like that's just everybody driving in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
The New York governor, Kathy Hochul, is expected to file the paperwork seeking Mangione's extradition from Pennsylvania, which that happened this past week. I think this article is from December 17th right now. This is kind of like a really good overview of right now. But this week he was extradited from Pennsylvania to New York. If you guys haven't already seen that perp walk that's been going around looking like a rap album cover, just one guy in a jumpsuit followed by just like a fucking massive entourage of armed guards and like the mayor of New York and like, what kind of image are you guys setting here, people? It's like, this guy he's not, Al Qaeda. He's not Osama bin Laden you're bringing in. Right. This is not like some world terrorist that you're flaunting. Like, you got him, guys. You didn't get Saddam Hussein here.
Right.
You got a guy who you're claiming, like, this is innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
You're saying this guy shot one man at the morning in front of his office and ran away. Mm-hmm. And you are treating this like you are literally parading this man like he is Hannibal Lecter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like they are walking him in.
He's scary. He's a danger.
Like he is the biggest threat, or he is the biggest apprehensive case that's terrorized this place for so long. Like,
right. It's like, no, his target was quite interesting. I don't think he's a random serial killer. I don't think he's a Son of Sam type.
Yeah, like I said,
run up and shoot for no reason. Like,
you're not bringing in Charles Manson here, people.
I think this was a very purpose killing here. If it was Mangione.
If it was Mangione. Mangione, a double University of Pennsylvania graduate, of course, who comes from a prominent Baltimore area family, faces a maximum possible sentence of life in prison without parole if convicted. He is accused of fatally shooting Thompson with a 9mm handgun equipped with a silencer on December 4th outside the Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. Thompson was 50 years old and was heading into the hotel for an Investor Day event. Ooh. So yeah, it was very much like planned. He knew exactly when this was going to happen. This was a targeted assassination. Whoever did this,
he knew he'd be there.
But the Manhattan District Attorney, this is where it's, like I said, it's getting really divisive here. This was a killing to evoke terror, the Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg said at a news conference to announce the 11-count indictment. This was not an ordinary killing. This was extraordinary.
Well, I mean, I bet that healthcare CEOs are afraid, and they are terrified. So I guess in that sense, it is a
billionaire
killing
CEOs
of terror. I guess
a very specific group of people are scared.
Yeah,
but
I mean, there are people too, Andy.
Again, but the thing is, it's hard to say that this was. It's very hard to find terrorism. Like if you shoot one person. It wasn't like you went into the board meeting and killed everyone in the investor meeting, and
exactly.
It wasn't like he did some mass killing or went and targeted multiple CEOs.
Well, what would you call that then? What type of murder? Like, it needs a special name, though, right?
What he did, like whoever did this crime?
like a targeted, focused hit.
That's an assassination. Yeah, that's
just an assassin. I mean, like if it's a group of people.
If it's a group of people, I mean, it's still a mass killing. It's still like a mass shooting or like a spree killing to an extent.
Yeah, but there's nothing else special because they had that whole motive.
Yeah, if you have specific motive of like a specific group of people,
like a political motive, I guess.
Yeah, it could be a political motive or like a hate crime or something like that. But to provoke terror, it's very like, who is he provoking terror to? Just healthcare CEOs or just healthcare billion? Like who? Like, it's very hard to pinpoint what is the specific group that he is provoking terror unto.
Right.
Not everyone. You know
well,
what I'm saying?
If he becomes the killer, then maybe if he is the killer rather, and he's proven to be the killer, then hopefully he'll be more vocal about that because he'll have nothing to lose at that point.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? What do you
think? I think that I almost like they're trying to make an example. Like that's the biggest thing is they're like this person, they're trying to make an example out of him.
Yeah, well, definitely.
But it's almost like the more you do, the more of a martyr you're making him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like the more you try and stack on, the more you're like, we're gonna throw the book at him. It's
right.
Like
this guy's about to get his own Netflix series. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, you're giving this guy, you're literally putting him on a pedestal. You're
making him a legend.
Up. Yeah. If you had not made this into as big of a deal as it was,
right.
This man, like whoever you're charging this would not be this massive worldwide celebrity at this point. Mm-hmm. Like, do you know how many times, like, there's probably been CEOs across the country, across the world who have been killed by somebody who was pissed off at their company and they did not become a national celebrity overnight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's very weird to see this level of almost martyrdom that they're putting him into. It's like, how much of a symbol are you turning him into?
Right.
Which is almost like what you would think this killer would want. To be turned into this symbol of like, no, we will come at you. We will come back to like the people will not be oppressed type situation.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's very hard to figure out who the specific group he was trying to instill this terror into. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they've followed him around. We've everybody's kind of covered the Mangione, what his motives were, or what happened the day of. He said, we have indications that Mangione will waive his right to extradition on Thursday to Pennsylvania. No, he went to New York. He's been extradited. So they're going to figure out now how this is going to proceed, because the main thing his lawyer was saying was, we don't believe he's going to get a fair trial. And that's very much true. You've turned, because of the fact that the media has turned this person into this national celebrity.
Right.
How are they going to get a fair trial?
It's like the media has accepted that he's the shooter.
Yeah, they have 100%. Like
while simultaneously not wanting him to be convicted. Isn't that interesting?
It's this big conundrum, and it's
kind of like OJ,
right? It's a weird thing to divide the country on. But yeah, for his lawyers to say that was very much like right there on the nose. It's like, guys, you have turned him into a national celebrity. He wasn't it wasn't this like national manhunt for a serial killer or something like that.
Right.
This wasn't Ted Bundy we were tracking. This was one guy who shot one guy. And just because this one guy he shot was deemed important enough because of his wealth and job, you guys are treating this man like he is a political assassin. Like almost like he shot the president.
Yeah.
And he didn't. Okay. This isn't Lee Harvey Oswald.
No.
So the fact that his lawyers are saying
his name is going to go down in history with him
to an extent, because of what the media has turned him into.
Absolutely,
it's going to be very hard to see where this trial goes.
Oh, man. He needs a middle name to be an iconic one, though. To be an iconic assassin, you got to have a middle name.
I haven't seen. I'm sure he actually probably has like 3 or 4 middle names. Yeah, Luigi Mangione just seems like he's got like 2 or 3 middle names.
You need to throw one in there,
right,
to really be a legend here.
I'm sure he will get one, but yeah, I'm sure he's gonna. They were already calling him. They were already calling the adjuster.
Oh Lord!
But they're trying to say that he was, the threat. These are lawless intentions. Then we say this plainly. There's no heroism in what Mangione did. The police commissioner has said this was a senseless act of violence. It was cold, calculated crime that stole a life and put New Yorkers at risk. We don't celebrate murders. We don't lionize the killing of anyone. It's like, okay, this was if you're saying there was no heroism, this was a senseless act of violence, but it was not like an act of terrorism. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, New York, especially in New York, New York is going to try and say this was terrorism. New York, you have the benchmark for terrorism. Okay. Right. Like you guys set the bar for what terrorism is in this country.
Right. But there has to be a minimum somewhere. There has to be a minimum somewhere.
There has to be like a bottom line, but
maybe he scraped that line.
Still, like I said, until you can really figure out, like, was there a specific group he was targeting
maybe
and
they had
scaring?
evidence, maybe they found a list of other CEO names. In his car.
He had his manifesto, which of course they
all
arrested.
gotta have their manifesto.
They arrested him apparently with a manifesto, with like a handwritten manifesto. And everyone's been talking about the shell casings that were found at the scene with deny, depose, and delay written on them. So it's like, yeah, this was planned. But it doesn't. There was no indication that there was multiple targets. That he was going to go to the next one and go to the next one, or there were like it's. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't seem like there's a group being targeted for terrorism. He wasn't trying to terrorize New York. He wasn't trying to terrorize anybody in particular. He was going after one person. So we're going to see how this plays out. This is going to be one of the trial of the year, at least the trial of this coming year, because
but they are going to try to charge him with terrorism, though.
They are right now.
Yeah, I don't think he gets convicted of that either.
No, I if they're trying to throw the book at him, I understand, but you cannot make this man into something he's not. You cannot martyr him and put him on such a pedestal that you pile on public support. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's winning in the court of public opinion right now. So you need to figure out a way to, like, whoever this person was, we're going to presume innocent until guilty. So it's like, you're going to have to legally and without a shadow of a doubt prove that this man was the killer, was the shooter, was a threat, and will continue to be a threat. And the fact that you have made this man into such a symbol, I don't see how he gets a fair trial now. A trial by jury? Where are you going to find 12 average Americans who have not been affected by healthcare or have not seen this in the news and have a personal opinion about this, or know someone who has been affected by healthcare?
That's part of what's so interesting about it. Honestly, it's such a big organization that is involved here.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It's one CEO of one company, but it's not just the one company. It's the entire, healthcare organization, the entire healthcare industry as a whole, that this is becoming like a symbol of, to an extent. So yeah, guys, we don't have all the answers to this right now, but we are sure that you've been all up to date with Luigi Mangione, but we had to cover it as well. And
gotta mention it.
It's not going to go away anytime soon. We're going to have to see where this goes and what they really charge him with, and what this trial is going to look like. Because I don't see it. I almost don't see the trial happening. It's going to be fucking impossible to find this a fair jury.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. They're going to have to go out of the country or some shit.
Yeah, right? Well, how are you going to get those? Going to go get a bunch of Canadians?
Let's go to Italy.
Right. A jury of his peers from the homeland.
All right, let's get into some shenanigans.
Well, Michael, we have one kind of shenanigans. It's a bit of a shenanigan, but it's not the happiest of shenanigans.
Somebody dies.
Somebody did die, but Michael, it's just one of those deaths.
Always dampens a shenanigan.
You always got to put just to see what the death certificate would say. Is just one of those questions like, what's on the death certificate? What did you put?
Yeah.
What was the cause of death? But a Virginia man dies after a bear was shot in a tree and fell out of the tree onto him and killed him.
Oh, man.
Like, to die by bear is one thing, but to die by falling bear, oh my God, like, it's a bear. How do you not miss a bear? Like, you knew he was coming.
Just step to the side.
Right? A Virginia man has died after a bear was shot in a tree by one of his hunting partners, and the bear fell out of the tree onto him.
He probably wasn't paying attention, dude.
The incident occurred on December 9th.
You ain't going to hit that bear.
The bear? How are you not? There's no leaves in this tree right now. It's just a big bear.
Apparently not. It fell straight down.
But on December 9th in Lunenburg County, which is between Richmond and Danville, Virginia's Department of Wildlife Resources were called. A hunting group was following a bear when it ran up the tree, the department said. As the group retreated from the tree, a hunter shot the bear, and the animal fell onto another hunter who was standing about 10 feet from the bottom of the tree. Okay, when you say retreated from the tree, you retreated 10 feet? That's just a quick step back.
That's what I'm saying. He wasn't paying attention.
That's not far enough back. That's not retreating.
I saw this headline, and I assumed that the same guy that shot the bear fell on.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, that's dumb, but I could see how you could be focused on it. Maybe you're looking through a scope or whatever. I don't know. And you shoot it, and it falls on him. Like, that's silly. It's like, well, honestly, I can't understand that, really. how
Yeah,
it
you're the
fell
one
on him.
looking at it.
But the fact that it fell on someone else,
Yeah.
it kind of makes more sense now, I guess.
Yeah,
that
right?
guy could have not been paying attention. But dude, it's a bear in a tree. I'd be watching it.
Yeah,
you know,
you would think they
especially
were
if you're
all
10
watching
feet
it.
away. It's a bear in a tree.
Yeah, you would think all those men were just like eyes locked on that bear, especially when one person's like, I'm going to take a shot.
Bear in my proximity, you know, like I can see it and it's not in a cage or anything, I'm going to keep an eye on that bear, you know?
Right. Yeah,
Just
bear's not
The
leaving my
whole
line of sight.
time. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on that bear, man.
But yeah, the department identified the man as Lester Harvey, 58, of Phoenix, Virginia. I love how the Phoenix, Virginia is spelled because it's Phenix. They were just like, no, it's not Phoenix.
No, it's
It's Phoenix, still with a PH.
right. Not the hot one.
Not the hot one. But a member of the group rendered first aid before Harvey was rushed to two different hospitals and died from his injuries on Friday. But yes, similar incidents have occurred in recent years, apparently, that I was not aware of, because in 2018, a man in Alaska was critically injured after his hunting partner shot a bear on a ridge. The animal then tumbled down a long slope and rolled onto the man, who was also struck by rocks dislodged by the bear on its fall. Like,
oh my God.
yeah, that's okay. That one's much more believable.
Rock slide.
Like you shoot a bear like up on a ridge, and that thing comes tumbling down like a long slope, and a bunch of rocks come falling down with it.
Comes cartwheeling down the damn.
That's so it's like, oh fuck, just running. But another man was injured in 2019 after his hunting partner shot a bear in a tree in North Carolina. The bear fell out of the tree and began to bite the hunter. The man and the animal then tumbled off a cliff. The hunter was taken to a hospital while the bear was then later found dead. That's just more of like a goddamn Leo DiCaprio movie.
But the guy lived.
Yeah,
he fought a bear and lived.
And fell off a cliff? That's a badass story. Like,
it sounds like the beginning of a Family Guy fight.
Yeah, where's the movie about this man? Felt like it's like Aragorn in the Two Towers, like just went off the cliff and all presumed dead. The orc washes his sword, but the king has returned.
Right.
Seriously, man, like if that man literally, could you imagine like the people who found that man be like, oh my God, this man is alive. We must protect this man at all costs. That's Jason Bourne.
Right. The dead bear laying at its side.
Yeah, right. It's just Liam Neeson standing there just huffing over a dead bear. That's who it would be too. It would be Liam Neeson just my particular set of skills.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, according to Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources, black bears are found throughout most of the state and been located in at least 92 of the 98 counties. So this was a black bear, which is, I guess, again, they still get pretty big.
Man, if it's falling on you though, that's bad. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that bear weighs 400 pounds, which is probably not big for a bear.
Yeah, for a black bear, yeah, probably still. Those things are still chunky.
Yeah, weighs 300 pounds, man. If it's falling from like 30 feet on you, yeah, you're fucked.
And you're standing vertically. You're not laying down ready for like a pancake.
It's going to fuck your spine up, bro.
Yeah, you're going to crumble. You're just going to look like a bag of bones just all the way down. So I can understand, yes. But at the same time, 10 feet away, man, you could have gotten a little bit further away. Yeah. What if the bear
like I said, the
die?
only thing is like maybe he was getting away when the guy was shooting.
Maybe, but like...
And the guy's like, man, he ain't going to fall on him. What are the... Oh, fuck.
All I'm thinking is like, even if he one of the worst case scenarios, what if he does shoot the bear? What if he just wings the bear and pisses it off and it does fall out of that tree and it's not dead and you're standing 10 feet from the bottom of that tree?
Like I said, man, this would never happen to me because in no scenario am I going to be the closest one to the bear.
No.
Nope.
Not unless I can pet it.
Be the closest one to the bear.
Not a wild bear. No. I'll try and pet that bear if it's it's a regular, it's a tame bear. I mean, I might try, but but no, like I said, 10 feet away is not retreating far enough away for me. So I could not get over they retreated.
But like I said, I could understand if he was retreating and he only got 10 feet away, right? Maybe he was right up under. Maybe he was about to climb it. Mm-hmm. The guy was like, no, I'll shoot him. And he was like, all right, get out of there. And he took off running and he shot it. And he only got 10 feet away before that bear came tumbling down on him.
Because all we were talking about earlier is like, I can't believe, I can only imagine the bear falling too. It's like a tree. It probably didn't fall like straight down. Like it's not like it's like, a branchless tree. I imagine it kind of plinkoed its way down a little bit.
Though.
Maybe.
It is
depending on what kind of tree it did go up. Some of those trees, the branches don't start until so high up.
Yeah.
But yeah, bears are good climbers, but they're not like fucking cats.
They're pretty damn good, man.
I know they are, but still,
scoot
like
up, especially a black bear, man. It can scoot up a tree quick.
Yeah, I wanted to see that. Just like if you watched it kind of plinko all the way down and you didn't move fast enough, you're just like, where's it gonna land? Where's it gonna go? Just one of those, just like kind of just like dancing back and forth under it, like left to right, left to right, left to right.
Or maybe you just froze. It's like one of those scenes in a movie where you're like, move, idiot. This whole movie could have been different if you just fucking moved.
Fight or flight, fight or flight.
Right?
Don't fight the bear.
He just stood there in shock. It's crushed.
Never fight the bear, people.
It's tough, man.
But yeah,
Think about how you feel to be that friend, though. God damn, man.
People are. I saw some mixed reports on that because several people are saying that the friend might be possibly be able to be charged with manslaughter and negligence because of misuse of a firearm to an extent of not safely discharging a firearm.
I could see negligence.
Yeah,
but manslaughter, man, come on.
It's like you accidentally caused someone's death. I mean, that's what manslaughter is.
Yeah, I guess so. Man.
So yeah, it's like the bear may have been the thing that fell on him and killed him, but because his friend shot the bear, and maybe because his friend didn't wait for them to clear the base of the tree long and wait until he shot, then yeah, I could see where this would be a negligence, a manslaughter, an accidental death. But you can't charge the bear, so someone's got to be held responsible a little bit.
That's right.
So
that's right.
But yeah, Michael, that's kind of all I got for our headlines and shenanigans. Michael, we had a busy month this week. We know it's the Christmas week.
That's right.
Everybody around here is getting real sniffly, real cold. It's getting fucking freezing around here.
I am, man. I apologize for the sniffles through this episode, guys. But it was a fun episode, regardless.
Yes.
And we got to do it every month in lieu of the Patreon exclusive episode, which we're actually not doing one this week because it's Christmas. Mm-hmm. That's our Christmas gift to ourselves.
Yeah, right.
Time. We don't have to spend an entire day in the studio. But we will be back next week with a regular True Crime Guys case here on the free platform. Guys, in the meantime, make sure you check out our other shows like Cryptic Soup with Thina and Kylie, and as well as Strange and Unexplained wherever you listen to podcasts. Also, check out the True Crime Guys YouTube and Patreon, patreon.com/True Crime Guys. You can get access to everything we have ever created, as well as access to these very episodes early, ad-free, and with a little bonus content. You kind of hang out with me and Andy after the show, after the gruesome murder or whatever the hell we talked about, and decompress a little bit, Just hang out, just chill. But also, guys, don't forget about Oh My Gaia, ohmygaia.com. There is a link right below the description of this episode with the code word Creepvan. You guys can get all natural deodorants, fragrance, beard oils, all that good stuff. Again, ohmygaia.com, ohmygaia.com. And there's a link right below the description of the episode. And the code word has changed. It's Creepvan, all one word, Andy.
You said Creepvan.
I know.
Okay.
I'm just reiterating it.
Just reiterating, make sure they know.
So Creeper does not work anymore. It is Creepvan. All one word. We decided to change it once every 6 years or so.
Right, yeah. You're still creepers, don't worry. You're still our creepers.
But guys, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for reviewing the show, giving us a follow on social media. If you haven't, check us out at True Crime Guys. It's a great place to send case suggestions as well as Patreon, and or you can just email us at truecrimeguys@gmail.com. All right, anything else, Andy?
No.
Got anything?
Hope everybody had a happy holidays. Hope everybody had happy, safe holidays whenever you're listening to this episode.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and we'll get back to you at we're almost New Year, Michael.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. This will come out just before the New Year, I believe.
I think Christmas. So yeah, almost New Year, yes. Make your resolutions now and fail them by February.
There you go. Zip up a few more things on your jacket, Andy.
Right,
That's
sorry.
Great. That's great studio ambiance. Why you wear this jacket with 72 zippers in the studio?
Gotta stay warm in here.
Did you also bring a bag of chips to eat?
Gotta slick my hair back like a greaser.
Bring a drink with barely anything at the bottom that you're drinking through a straw.
Yes, I can taste the leather.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week with a new True Crime Guys case. Until then, just keep on creeping.
Bye.